You guys ever see those videos where people are driving their rigs on their dashboard in traffic? I don't think it's gonna work in my Gladiator. Nope, not with that stuff there. Let's take the new Furitek Wagon over to the hobby shop. All right, guys, made it to the hobby store. It's here in Newtown, Connecticut, and this place is absolutely awesome. Look at all the stuff they have in here. I could totally get in trouble. Oh man, they've got a primal gravedigger. Check this thing out. Man, I really want one of these things. Oh, they got one of the lifts here. Check out this thing. Oh, some crazy 6x6 truck. It's like 5th scale row. Oh, a fire hammer. Haven't seen one of those in a long time. Some X-Maxes. Oh, the low seat Audi. Always wanted one of those. But right now, we're gonna test out the new Wagon. And here is their indoor course. It's a small course, but I think it's gonna be perfect for this, just to show you guys how it operates. Can't wait to get this thing going. They include the better radio with this, ready to run. Look at this, you can turn on the switch right from the outside of the truck. There you go, look at that, lights. First, let's just check the trim, make sure it goes straight. Perfect. I don't know, you guys think crawler racing would be fun? Got to start off here on the rollers, and we're just gonna give it a nice slow crawl. And that's about as slow as this thing will go, which is really good. It's got the Venom Outrunner motor and the Lizard Pro ESC. And that's a lot smoother than I remember the Hobby Plus going. This drive train's kind of loud in this. All right, we'll speed things up a little bit. So we'll do a little descent check here. Nice and slow. Kind of on the blind side back here, actually. That truck's working. We'll slide from the tires. Got to check out the steering on this. They've got the servo mounted on the axle. Let's see what type of turning it's got. That's decent. Get the tire bound up in this rock, and we'll see how much torque that steering servo has. It's pushing that rock out, actually. It's got some wheel speed to it, too. Wide sweeping turns to get around to the bridge here. Oh. Take two, new approach angle. Good stuff here. All right, let's head back to the workshop and see what's under the hood. So I'm back from the hobby shop, and I've got to break down the rig for you guys here on the workbench. You probably heard me mention a couple of interesting parts, and this thing is loaded up. So they obviously partnered up with Hobby Plus. This is basically like a CR18P Evo. However, there's some changes to it, and one of the changes is the body. So it looks just like the Power Wagon body, like the Hobby Plus Evo back there that I reviewed. However, if you look closer, this is actually a new body mold. You can see that the fender flares are rolled just a little bit, and if they just went and cut that body up, we wouldn't see that roll there. So this is actually a unique body to this rig. The back section is cut out for clearance. There's a light bar on top with LED lights. It's got this pretty cool flame paint job on it, and I think there's a red version as well. The bumpers changed up on this rig, and they did carry over the larger diameter tires. It looks pretty good. I just wish that they carried over the clear windows like the Evo has. This is the radio system that comes with it. Also comes with a USB charger and then your cross wrench. Now under the body is where all the good stuff is. Lots of changes going on here in comparison to the Evo. They've got their own frame rails, and you can see it's anodized black. It's got a jeweled edge to it. It's got the Furitek logo etched in it, as well as the H3 logo. And there are tons of holes for the shock positions and the lower link positions. And I actually think that they've moved it from the Hobby Plus Evo version. The upper link, I believe, is a little bit farther back. That cants the front axle back a little bit, but the rear seems to be the same. They also have oil-filled shocks. These are a larger bore shock. I like the aluminum cap on the top, and the aluminum preload collar. And another big change in comparison is they have the servo mounted to the axle and composite links. Kind of wish they gave us aluminum links like they did on the Cayman. And then moving back, you'll notice the Evo transmission. However, there's something that is noticeably different. There is no extra servo. So this is just a single speed transmission, and I took the battery box out. They just put a set screw through the hole to seal it up, and that is it. But this drivetrain setup is supposed to be their bulletproof setup. The metal gears on the inside, metal gears in the axles as well, and then the front has CVs. And finally, let's talk about the electronics, where the Furitek stuff really comes in. They have their Venom 3450 Outrunner brushless motor bolted up to that transmission, their Lizard Pro ESC, nice case on the outside that switches out back, and it's also a programmable ESC via their Bluetooth app, which is pretty awesome. And then they have their receiver, which takes standard signal plugs and also links up to the radio system. 600 milliamp LiPo batteries included. And one final thing that I forgot to mention before, the center drive axles, these look a bit beefier than the ones that we saw on the Hobby Plus Evo. So that's a pretty good electronics setup, some pretty good parts that come stock on this. And as you guys saw over on the Rock Crawler course, it seemed to perform really well. So this is basically about 200 bucks, $199.99, and the Hobby Plus version is $60 cheaper. So I'm thinking for the brushless system and the good receiver, the nice aluminum plates, the larger drive shafts, and the oil-filled shocks, I think that's a pretty good deal for $60 more. I liked how it performed. The drivetrain, I will say, is very noisy. Whatever they did in that setup in there, it's noisy. But you might want to go and try stuffing it with grease to quiet it down a little bit. But it's a good performer, and I think it's got to be a really great base for builds or just having general fun with. So down in the comments, let me know what you would do. Would you get a Hobby Plus Evo, or would you go with the Furitek route with the FX118, or would you just go right with the Cayman, which is a bit more in price? I'll have links for everything in the video description below.